Hey, shalom, shalom. Hey, happy Sabbath. Most High Christ bless all of you. I'm Brother AVL. Today's lesson is going to be called the New Year Lies. Janus, the pagan god of January 1st, right? And today my reader is going to be
Brother Ahijah, Shalom, Israel. Most High in Christ bless. Happy Sabbath.
right. Happy Sabbath. Hey, all praises. So yeah, you know, a few, the majority of the world um, have finished celebrating what they call the New Year's, right? So, but what they don't know that it actually pertains to Janus, the pagan god of the Romans, which they celebrated, by converting the January 1st to the New Year, right? And that's why the name of that month is January, after that pagan god, right? So, Ahijah, let's start off at Romans 10:3. Because what happens is that not only did they celebrate New Year's, but they celebrated Christmas, and Thanksgiving, Halloween. They got all these these holidays that they got going on, and it's not according to Christ, and it's not biblically in the scriptures, right? You got that, Elijah?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. The book of Romans, chapter 10 and verse 3. For they being ignorant of God's righteousness and going about to establish their own righteousness, to
Have not.
sorry, uh, have not submitted themselves unto the righteousness of God.
Right. So that's what the world does, right? They're ignorant of God's righteousness, which you're able to find in the scriptures, and they're going about to establish their own righteousness, right? So that's why they celebrate all these worldly customs, not knowing where they come from. It's only is lies and traditions of man. So that's what they've gone and done. So I just jump to let's go to First Corinthians 14 and 33. First Corinthians 14 and verse 33, please.
The book of First Corinthians, chapter 14 and verse 33. For God is not the author of confusion, but of peace, as in all churches of the saints.
Right. So the Most High God is not the author of confusion, right? So when we read the scriptures, we know He gave us high holy days to keep. He told us when the year began. He told us how to keep the Sabbath, right? And so He's not the author of confusion. But what the world does is that they go and establish their own things, and they go against what the Lord says. And that's where the confusion comes, and that's where people start celebrating these holidays or holidays, and thinking they're doing something right. So, Ahijah, can you pull up the first video that
Yes,
we?
sir.
So we're gonna try to see a couple of videos so we can see where it all comes from, and whether if it's of God or if it's traditions of man, and after idolatry, pagan deities. Go ahead.
1 second here. Let me share this. Let me know when you can see it, loved one.
Yeah, there you go.
Akitu festival marked the new year, blending religious, cultural, and political elements in a vibrant display of tradition and power. Originating over 4,000 years ago, the Akitu festival was a 12-day event held in honor of the gods to ensure the prosperity of the region. Central to this celebration was Marduk, the chief deity of Babylon, whose victory over chaos was reenacted through elaborate rituals to symbolize the triumph of order. The festival commenced on the first day of Nisan in the Babylonian calendar, coinciding with the vernal equinox and the renewal of nature. As part of the festivities, statues of the gods were paraded, and the king was ritually humiliated and then restored to his position, reaffirming his link with the divine. This ceremony served not only as a religious observance, but also as a means to reinforce the king's authority and the social order. The Akitu festival offered an opportunity for the community to come together, reflecting on the past and looking forward to a prosperous future. By understanding such traditions, we gain insights into how ancient civilizations viewed time, divinity, and governance.
Right. So these were we're gonna play the next video right after Ahijah. This was from Babylon, the time of Babylon. They started celebrating this where they held a 12-day festival named Akitu, and they will start celebrating the New Year's. And the Babylonians, they celebrated in spring because they did it according to the solar, right? And then the Romans started changing things, and we're gonna get to right now. Go ahead, Haji.
The Greeks used the baby as the symbol of the new year. Then Rome looked to Janus.
The tradition of resolutions began in Babylon 4,000 years ago, as making vows for favor with their gods.
In the West, we cling to a Scottish ballad revised by Robert Burns, As the Clock Strikes 12.
We eat for luck. Green cabbage symbolizes money, while black-eyed peas symbolize prosperity.
Yet, the God of the Bible commanded the new year to begin in the spring, in the month of Abib, symbolizing freedom, their Passover and exodus from captivity.
All right, Haji, play the next video. So
In the rich tapestry of Roman mythology, Janus stands as a...
we're starting to
Could
see.
pause it.
Yeah, real quick. Yeah, we're starting to see where things started getting established and where traditions of man come into play, and they're now kept in modern day. It's still being kept, but with ignorance, right? So now we're gonna see where it all came to pass about who really established January 1st as the new year, which was the Romans. Go ahead.
In the rich tapestry of Roman mythology, Janus stands as a unique and powerful deity known as the god of beginnings, gates, transitions, time, duality, doorways, passages, and endings. Janus is distinctly portrayed with two faces, each looking in opposite directions. This depiction symbolizes his ability to see both the past and the future, embodying the concept of transitions. The month of January, named after Janus, holds a significant place in the Roman calendar. As the first month of the year, January was seen as a gateway to new beginnings, reflecting Janus's dual aspects of looking forward and backward. This association emphasizes the importance of transitions in Roman culture, marking January as a time for reflection on the past and planning for the future. During the reign of King Numa Pompilius, the second king of Rome, January was instituted as the first month of the year, making him a symbol of both reflection and anticipation for the Romans. In the rich tapestry of Rome,
There it is, Haji. So Haji, go to Revelations 1:8, because the Janus was symbolized looking towards towards the past and looking towards the future. That's why it has a double head, one looking towards the back and one looking towards the future. But we're gonna look. This is what we want to get out right here. Haji, Revelations 1:8.
The book of Revelation, chapter 1 and verse 8. I am Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end,
The beginning and the end. This is Christ, right? This is Christ speaking. Go ahead.
saith the Lord, which is,
Which
and which was, and which is to come, the Almighty.
the Almighty, right? This is who is the beginning and the end, and he is which is, and which was, and which is to come. He is overall, right? That's who we're supposed to be going after, Christ, not these deities, right? So Ahijah, go to open up the page 1 and page 2, the ones that I sent you, the first ones. Yeah. We're just gonna back up exactly what we what we just saw in those videos, but with some a little bit of articles.
This the one you want first?
Yeah, because that's what we read. Well, that's what video we saw first about the Babylonians keeping the festival of Akitu, right? So this is where the celebration, going and celebrating it, the New Year in general, right? Go ahead.
New Year's traditions originated 4,000 years ago in ancient Babylon with the 12-day Akitu festival mid-March.
Right. So they were keeping it mid March in the spring, right? So they started those celebrations back in Babylon, and of course it was going back to their gods, right? Because they wanted prosperity. So this was still a pagan holiday, even though it was celebrated when it was the New Year in spring. Go ahead.
Celebrating agricultural renewal and kingly vows.
Read.
The Romans shifted this to January 1st in 46 BC
Right.
to honor Janus, the
Right.
two-faced god of beginnings.
Go
Key
ahead.
customs like resolutions, fireworks, and noise making stem from ancient effects to curry flavor of gods or curry flavor with gods,
Right. Go ahead.
ensuring fertility and ward off evil spirits.
Right. So now we're gonna read a couple of the things that where they come from. So the New Year's resolution, the fact that people make a New Year's resolution in the middle of winter, right? But they think it's the New Year. So where did that come from? 100. Can you read that for
Yes,
us?
sir. New Year's resolutions originated with the Babylonians, who made promises to their gods to pay debts and return borrowed items to uh, to start the new year. The Romans also pledged good behaviors to Janus.
Right. So again, it goes back to paganism, right? Go ahead.
The ball drop. The first Times Square ball drop was held on December 31st, 1907, to welcome 1908.
Right. Go ahead.
Fireworks and noisemakers. These were used in, oops, sorry about that. Let me go back. It says these were used in ancient times, particularly in China, to frighten away evil spirits and bad luck.
Right. So that's why when the clock strikes 12, in the middle of the night, they start making, as soon as it's New Year's, they bring out all their noise makers, throw up confetti, and then they go into different rituals on this day. As far as in eating foods, wearing
Mhm.
specific clothes, and doing different actions. And it leads to madness. I have another video that's going to show you the stupidity of people of what they follow after these things. So go ahead, I you continue reading right there. Lucky
No,
food.
absolutely. And just so you just, if I may,
Yes.
when people nowadays, what do? They'll go outside, they'll shoot guns, they'll do all this because they think they're just following tradition.
Right.
Well, the tradition that they're following is to ward off evil spirits. So you're not following traditions of God. So when you do these things thinking, well, it's just something we do for fun. Well, sometimes you could don't follow, what do they say? Don't follow the lamb to the slaughter.
Right.
Don't follow all the sheep to the slaughter. They're teaching you to do something that's not of God. So
Right.
question the things you do. Why do they do this? What makes this so significant? And that's what we're going over to today.
Right.
Um,
If they want,
Lucky foods.
if they want to ward off evil spirits, all they got to do is keep the commandments.
Right, right,
Do that for you. It's a simple.
right.
Go ahead, Ahijah.
Lucky foods. Grapes, pork, lentils. Eating specific foods is a global tradition for prosperity. For example, in Spain, eating 12 grapes at midnight brings luck for each month, while in the US, pork and black eyed peas signify prosperity.
Right. Go ahead.
The New Year's baby. This tradition This tradition originated with the ancient Greeks who used a baby to represent the spirit of fertility and the new year, often in contrast with an old man representing the passing year.
Right. And nowadays is the baby that's supposedly born, the very first baby to be born in the year. They, I don't know if they, I think they give them like, they put them on the news or they put them on the newspaper. And I think I'm not sure, but I think in some cases they even give them money. And,
Right.
and they make them the New Year baby. So this is where it all comes from. It comes from the Greeks, right? Go ahead, Ahijah.
Kissing at midnight. Historically, this stems from
Mas-
uh,
Masquerades.
masquerade balls, where the kissing was thought to ward off evil and foster affection for the coming year.
Right. So again, that's it, Hydra. From there, let's go to Colossians 2:8. So these are all traditions and philosophies of man that they've been emphasizing throughout this whole time, and now the majority of our people, they're ignorant to these things, right? So they just go along with it. They don't know where it comes from, where it originated from, but they go and follow it without question. Read it when you got it.
The book of Colossians, chapter 2 and verse 8. Beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit.
Right. So we're getting a warning that he's saying, Paul's saying, beware unless any man who's gonna spoil you. When something spoils, it turns bad, right? Through philosophy and vain deceit, meaning it holds no weight. It holds no weight with God. Go ahead.
After the traditions of men.
After the traditions of man, this is what we were just reading. Traditions that have been established by man, rulers on the earth who established and forced it on the people. Go ahead.
After the rudiments of the world.
This is what belongs to the world, right? We have a different world, the world of Israel. We ought to follow Christ and the Most High God. Go ahead.
And not after Christ.
Right. So all these traditions, the New Year's being celebrated on January 1st is not after Christ. So and if you call yourself a Christian or you call yourself someone that believes in God, you're not to be partaking on these things, right? That's why Christ said, "Love not the world," right? Neither the things that are in the world. So Ahijah from there, Jeremiah 10:1. Jeremiah 10:1.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 10 and verse 1.
We're gonna read all the way to 3, please.
Yes, sir. Hear ye the words which the Lord spake unto you, O house of Israel.
So he's speaking to the children of Israel, right? Go ahead.
Thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen.
Right. So he's telling us, do not learn the ways of these other nations. Don't go after them. Go ahead.
And be not dismayed at the signs of heaven.
Go ahead.
For the heathen are dismayed at them.
Go ahead.
For the customs of the people are vain.
Right. So the customs of the other nations are vain. They're not gonna help you in anything. All right. Go ahead.
For one cutteth the tree out of the forest, the work of the hands of the workmen with the axe.
All right. So it's gonna this specific chapter in the beginning is gonna go into Christmas, but I just wanted to make that point is that the customs of the people are vain. So they're not. We're not to follow after these things, right? So Ahijah, jump to Deuteronomy 12:30. So that's what we want to show our people, right? That we don't want to follow after other gods. We don't want to follow what the other nations do. God gave us our own stuff for us, our own high holy days to keep. He gave us a heritage for us, right? So he's been warning us since the days of Moses not to go after the gods of the other nations, right? Because that's their portion. Go ahead.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 12 and verse 30. Take heed to thyself that that thou be not snared by following them.
Right. So now he's telling us, the children of Israel, it said, take heed, be careful to thyself that thou be not snared by following them. It says, don't get caught up on these things by following these other nations, right? Go ahead.
After that, they be destroyed from before thee,
Go ahead.
and that thou inquire not after their gods, saying, how did these nations serve, or excuse me, how did these nations serve their gods?
All right. So he's
Even
telling,
so
hold
will
on,
I do likewise.
hold on. He's saying, after that, they be destroyed. So after we destroy these nations, in that time, he's telling them, it says, before thee, before after destroys us, destroys them before us, and that thou inquire not after their gods, saying, don't ask yourself this: how do these nations serve their gods? Don't be curious on how people serve their gods. That's for them. Don't be curious on how they're celebrating the New Year's, celebrating paganism like Halloween, Christmas, Valentine's Day, St. Patrick's Day, Cinco de Mayo, right? All these things that have nothing to do with the Lord. Go ahead.
Verse 31. Thou shalt not do so unto the Lord thy God.
Can you read the last part of verse 30?
Yes, sir.
How did these nations serve their gods?
How did these nations serve their gods?
Go ahead.
So even so will I do likewise.
Right. So don't ask yourself that, oh, how they doing it, I'm gonna do it as well. Go ahead.
Thou shalt not do so unto the Lord thy God. For every abomination to the Lord which he hated have they done unto their gods.
Right. So the Lord hates every abomination that these other nations do to their God. Right. So that's why, even more so, we ain't supposed to be going after these other traditions. Right. Go ahead.
For even their sons and their daughters they have burnt in the fire to their gods.
Read.
What what thing soever I command you, observe to do it, that thou shalt not add thereto, nor diminish from it.
Right. So you're saying what I have established for you, that you do, and don't take away from it or don't add to it. Right. What I've given you is what you need to have success. Right.
Don't go and do your own thing. Don't go Israel, and because that's what Israel do. They're like, well, God said that we got to have lamb and we got to roast through a fire. But I'm gonna season mine with some butter and I'm gonna put some of this. It's like, no, no, no. He didn't say to do that. Yeah, but he has flavor. He would no, you're doing your own thing. Do what God said.
Right. Yeah, something as simple as that. You can't go and do what you want. You have to do it according as the Bible wants. That's the perfect obedience. Doing it as the Lord says. So, Hydra, jump to Psalms 81 and 9. Psalms 81 and verse 9.
The book of Psalms, chapter 81 and verse 9. There shall no strange God be in thee, neither shalt thou worship any strange God.
Right. So here's a commandment. He's saying there shall no strange God be in thee, and this is not new, right? This is already written down even in the Ten Commandments. It said there shall no strange God be in thee, neither shall thou worship any strange God. Janus is not a God that we know, right? That he didn't even get established before the time of Moses. We never knew it. But nowadays, since Rome took over and in his influence has reached all the way down to America, now we are partaking in that. But that's what we're here to do now. We're here to warn the people to step away from those traditions of man, right? And return to the Lord. So Ahijah, let's jump to Deuteronomy 6 and 14, please. Deuteronomy 6 and 14. We're going to read 14 and 15.
Yes, sir. The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 6 and verse 14. Ye shall not go after other gods, of the gods of the people which are round about you.
right? Because not here in America, there's other nations around us, but they have their portion, right? We've been called out of the world, right, to serve the Lord. So we ain't supposed to go after their gods. That's for them. Go ahead.
For the for the Lord thy God is a jealous God among you, lest the anger of the Lord thy God be kindled against thee and destroy thee from off the face of the earth.
Right. So the Lord is telling you, hey, I don't play with that. I'm a jealous God. And it says, and if this and if you want to try me, it says, then the anger of the Lord is gonna be kindled against me. And we seen in history what he's done to us. That's why we can go into this into the curses and see how all the stuff have came to pass to his people, right? So we don't want to anger the Lord, right? We definitely don't want to do that. So Hajj, Leviticus 20 and 26, please.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 20, pages, and verse 26. And ye shall be holy unto me, for I, the Lord, am holy, and have severed you from other people,
What did the Lord do, Elijah?
and have severed you from other people.
Right. So the Lord's telling us, right? Christ says, "My sheep hear my voice and they follow." He said, the Most High said, you will be holy unto me, for I, the Lord, am holy, and have severed you, meaning I have cut you off from the rest of these nations. You are to be a holy nation unto me, right? It says that you should be mine, because we're the Lord's portion, right? We're the apple of his eye. We have to be obedient and in line with the Most High, right? Otherwise we lose our protection. So Ahijah, from there, Hosea 4 and 1. Yes, sir. Hosea 4 and 1.
Yes, sir. The book of Hosea, chapter 4, and verse 1. Hear the word of the Lord, ye children of Israel. For the Lord hath a controversy with the inhabitants of the land, because there is no truth, nor
Right.
mercy, nor
There's no
knowledge of God in the land.
right. We're gonna jump to 6, Ahijah. So he's saying that he has a controversy. It says, "Ye children of Israel, for the Lord hath controversy with the inhabitants of the land," right? Because there is no truth. There's no truth in America, right? Nor mercy, and there's definitely no knowledge of God, right? So I had to jump to 6, verse
The
6.
book of Hosea, chapter 4, verse 6. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge.
It says that my people, the children of Israel, lack knowledge. We just read on the top. It says no knowledge of God in the land. The knowledge of God is what we're lacking, and this is the reason why we're following traditions of man, and uh, either consciously or unconsciously, we're following after deities, gods of the Romans, right, of Babylon, and so forth. Go ahead.
Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest to me.
Right, he called us to be a kingdom of kings and priests. So that's what it's telling. Hey, it says, because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject you, that you should not be no priest to me. You can't be a priest to me if you're over here partaking on these other holidays, right? That don't belong to you. Seeing that thou hast forgotten, that's what we've done. We've forgotten the law of the Lord, and it says, "I will also forget thy children." Right? You got something to say, Haj?
No, sir, no, sir.
From there, Haj, let's go to Jeremiah 35 and 15.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 35, and verse 15. I have sent also unto you all my servants, the prophets, rising up early and sending them, saying, Return ye now every man from his evil way, and amend your doings,
Right.
and go.
Hold that right there. So he's telling us that the Most High, he's woken up his prophets nowadays, and that's why we go out to the streets, even if we come online. The purpose is to bring out that message, right? Speaking what the Lord says. So he's telling us to tell you, return ye, return ye now every man from his evil way, and amend, correct, and amend your doings, correct what you're doing, and go not after other gods. Go ahead, Ahijah. And go not after.
Excuse me. And go not after other gods to serve them, and ye shall dwell in the land which I have given to you and your fathers. But ye have not inclined your ear, nor hearkened unto me.
Right? You have not paid attention, and you refuse to hearken unto Him. Right? You want to do your own thing, and that's not what the Lord is looking for. He's looking for His servants. Right? So Ahijah, you got can you bring out the a video? There's three images. This is gonna be under three images info.
Hey, man.
Let me see here. You said it's going to be under 3 images info.
Yeah, it should be under that.
Okay, the very next one.
Yeah. Like I said, it should be in order.
Yeah, now that makes it easy when they're in order.
Yeah.
Order.
Gotta keep it in order because the people's out of order. Yeah, you get it when
Something that doors. All right, let's get it. Let me move this down so I can read it. All right, it says Roman Republic calendar. Roman Republican calendar. Dating system that evolved in Rome prior to the Christian era. According to the legend, Romulus, the founder of Rome, instituted the calendar in about 738 BC. This dating system, however, was probably a product of evolution from the Greek lunar calendar, which in turn was derived from the Babylonian. The original Roman calendar appears to have consisted only of 10 months and the year, excuse me, the Roman calendar appeared to have consisted only of 10 months and of a year of 304 days.
all
And
right.
the remaining 61 and 1/4 days were apparently ignored, resulting in a gap during the winter season.
Right.
The
So,
months,
what the purpose of bringing these articles out is to show how much confusion the Romans had when they instituted these things, and the Lord makes things plain and simple for us. So we're gonna show you how they come up with things and the confusion and the contradiction of what they established, and then we're gonna show you what the Lord established with the order that He does. Go ahead. How you keep reading?
the months are the months bore the names Martius, Aprilis, Maius, Junius, Quintilius, Sextilius, September, October, November, and December. The last 6 names correspond to the Latin word for the number 5 through 10.
Right. So they're telling us that the it says that the Latin words for the numbers 5 through 10. So when we read Quintilius, that's five. That's the fifth. Sextilius, that's the sixth. And then we start recognizing some of these months, right? September, which we believe is the ninth, but is the seventh. October, right? That's the eighth. That's what we have. So we derive from word octagon, right? Octopus,
Mm,
eighth, and then November will be the ninth, and then December is for the 10th. December, right?
like
Go ahead.
Deca.
What was that?
Like the term deca, like It's 10.
Yes. So I mean, that's why it's telling us that the last six names correspond to Latin words for the number 5 through 10, right? So when we compare them now to the Gregorian calendars that we're following, it doesn't add up the number that it persists, right? So it's way off. Go ahead, Elijah. Keep reading.
The Roman ruler Numa
Aurelius.
Pampulus is credited with adding January to the beginning and February at the end of the calendar to create the 12-month year. In 452 BC, February was moved between January and March.
Right. So we're just seeing a pattern of confusion. Now they're adding more, and then now it's being shifted. Right. So it's this is what happens when man starts to create things on their own, and then try to establish a time frame. Right. That doesn't add up. They're starting a new year in the dead of winter when nothing has replenished. How'd you go to the next one, please? The next image.
By the 1st century BC, the Roman calendar had become hopelessly confused.
You see that? It's been so they're all over the place, right? That's why we're not supposed to follow man, right? We're supposed to follow God. Go ahead.
The year, based on cycles and phases of the moon, totaled 355 days, about 10 and 1/4 days shorter than the lunar year.
The
Rather
short
than the solar year.
solar year.
Rather than the solar year. The occasional intercalculation of an extra month of 27 or 28 days called Mercedonius kept the calendar in step with the seasons.
Right.
The confusion was compiled by political maneuver.
Right. So these are the people that had authority to be able to change things so they can get back in sync with the seasons. Right. So that's why the Lord gave us the 4 seasons, so we would know when the year ended. Right. In spring is the beginning of the year. So go ahead, Elijah, keep reading.
The Pontifex Maximus and the College of Pontiffs had the authority to alter the calendar, and they sometimes did so to reduce or extend the term of the particular magistrate of or other political office.
Right.
Finally, in 46 BC, Julius Caesar initiated through a thorough reform that resulted in the establishment of a new dating system, the Julian calendar.
Right, and this is where the month of July comes from Julius. Right. Go ahead. Next page, Elijah.
In 1582, Pope Gregory VIII instituted the Gregorian calendar, a reform of the Julian calendar by skipping 10 days. October 4th was followed by October 15th to realign the calendar with the solar year, correcting seasonal drifts for accurate Easter calculations.
Right.
A change adopted by most of the world and still in use today.
You see, so this is where it all comes from. It comes from confusion and is literally created by our enemies, right? So we know that they don't have things. They do things differently. So that's another reason why we're not supposed to follow after the traditions of the other nations. So how did you get that video, please? The April Fool's video.
Hey man, Happy New Year. Hey man, Happy New Year. Bro, New Year's was months ago. That's what they want you to think. What do you mean? The real New Year starts in the spring when everything wakes up. At least that's how it's always been until the Gregorian calendar messed everything up. So, how did the Gregorian calendar mess things up? Pope Gregory introduced the Gregorian calendar not to keep time, but to remind folks when to pay taxes. That's why it's called calendar, because in ancient Rome, calends was the day that debts were recorded. Wait a minute. You're saying the calendar was built for taxes? Exactly. And the whole system got thrown off earlier when Julius Caesar and Augustus decided they wanted their own months. That's how we got July and August. Well, why is February so short? Because Augustus wanted his month to be just as long as Julius's, so he stole a day from February. So they reshuffled time to feed their egos? Here I thought they made February short because they were just racist towards Black History Month. But this makes more sense. And that's not even the craziest part. Have you ever noticed the months don't even truly line up to their names? Think about it. September, Septim, 7, but it's the ninth month. October, Octo, 8, but it's the 10th month. November means 9, but it's the 11th month. December, Deca, 10, but it's the 12th month. So they really out here just messing things up. If the calendar was actually accurate, we would have 13 months, not 12. But why 13? Because it follows the natural cycles of the moon's 28 days, which also corresponds to women's menstrual cycles. You see, ancient cultures had it right. They based their calendar based off the moon and the cosmos, not taxes. So every month would be 28 days. Exactly. And the first day of every month would always land on the same day of the week. So we're really just out here living in a system designed to confuse us. And now you see why they call it April Fool's Day.
All right, thank you, Haj. So Haj, let's go to Daniel 7, and we're gonna read 23, and then we're gonna jump to 25. And if you want to get the picture of the fourth kingdom out first, please, because we're gonna start showing brothers and sisters online how who changed the times, and that was prophesied in the scriptures. That was a vision that Daniel had as well.
Okay, all praise, all praise. Let me pull this up. Daniel chapter 7, verse 25.
No, 23.
Oh, sorry, verse 23. Thus he said, the fourth beast shall be the fourth kingdom upon the earth, which shall be divide. Sorry,
The verse.
all right. Let me start from the top.
Go ahead.
Book of Daniel, chapter 7, verse 23. Thus he said, the fourth beast shall be the fourth kingdom upon the earth, which shall be diverse from all kingdoms, and shall devour the whole earth, and shall tread it down, and break it in pieces.
Right. So, Elijah, can you pull up that the image of the fourth kingdom that's labeled under the fourth kingdom? You see it? It's the one with the statue.
Yes, sir.
Sure.
Legs of iron,
Yep.
and feet of iron and clay.
Right. So, can you? I don't know if you can zoom in to the top highlighted part.
No, I'm not able to zoom in, but I could read it.
Okay. So, yeah, I just wanted to
Actually,
read. I'm gonna read again that scripture you brought out, and then you can read that one. So, Daniel's 7 and 23, it says, "Thus he said, the fourth beast shall be the fourth kingdom upon the earth, which shall diverse from all kingdoms, and shall devour the whole earth, and shall tread it down and break it in pieces." Right. So let's see what this fourth kingdom is talking about. Go ahead.
historical and Bible background. Scholars suggest that the fourth kingdom is the Roman Empire. However, the Bible does not specifically identify this kingdom as Rome.
Right. So scholars believe that it's Rome, right? But obviously the Bible is not going to say that it is that specifically, but there is signs that tells us who that fourth kingdom was, right? So that's why we're going to jump to verse 25, Ahijah. You can drop that one. You can drop that image.
Verse 25. And he shall speak great words against the Most High,
Hmm?
and shall wear out the saints of the Most High,
Read.
and think to change times and laws.
All right. So that fourth kingdom will think to change times and the laws. So that's why it says that it shall devour the whole earth. And in having that much influence and power, it will think to change the times and the laws. Go ahead.
And they shall be given into the hand until a time and times and the dividing of time.
Right. This is why even their New Year, they celebrated it in the middle of the night. Right. It's not even the beginning of the night. So they say that the day starts at 12 when we know the we're gonna prove later on that the day actual day starts when the sun sets. So for example, today when the sun sat down and we can no longer see the sun, that's when the Sabbath started for us, right? That's why we celebrate that. We start saying happy Sabbath to each other as soon as the sun goes down. We prep everything prior to the sun goes down because there's no buying, no selling, no cooking. So the people, this nation, the fourth kingdom, which is Rome, have changed the laws and they changed the time, right? So that's why they also added names to each day of the week, also names to the months, right? So this is what they done, right? They have power and control to be able to do so. And America is like the little Rome. It follows right after them. So that's why it still continues to this day, and America follows the Gregorian calendar. So Hydra, can you bring out that the picture of the where it says U.S. and Rome? It should be right under that other one that you had.
The U.S. and ancient Rome share striking similarities in governmental structures, Republican Senate checks and balances, legal systems, infrastructure, roads, aqueducts, stadiums, multiculturalism, global influence, reliance on slavery, and even societal issues like wealth gaps.
Wait.
With Americans, go
Uh,
ahead.
just the very. We only want the very top one. So it says with America where it says reliance on slavery, right? So yeah, the Romans had slaves, and so did America, and they rely on slavery, and they still do it to this day. Except they give you a little bit of freedom so you can go and watch your football games and watch the UFC and watch all these boxing matches, so you can go to their coliseum, right? And be distracted by those things, and I have to question why you have to work a 9 to 5 and you still can't provide enough for your family, right? So, and then even when our brothers and sisters who are in jail, they lose their freedom. They now become slaves again, and they're out there having them build chairs or stuff like that. Even going to fight fires, and they die out there and they don't get paid nothing. Right, so our brothers and sisters are being used in the jail system as slaves even till today. So yeah, we can see some of the similar,
And
a lot of
I don't know if I don't know if brothers sisters are aware, but in Louisiana they have a prison called Angola. Well, Angola used to be a plantation. Now it's a prison. It's one of the worst prisons in the world because they still have you doing slave labor work. They still have the so-called masters on the horses while the kings and prophets are walking, treading the ground, tilling the dirt. Because this is a curse that was put upon us, and we're still under it today. They just changed the guise of it and said, "You're no longer slaves, you're inmates."
right, right, Hydra. Hydra, can you get the next video ready? It's gonna be under Rome and America.
Passion. Title.
Yes, sir.
Passion. Title. Esau's Judgment and the Parallels Between Rome and America. A Reflection on Divine Justice. Introduction. Within Jewish scholarship,
The story of Esau as depicted in the Torah has been subject to interpretation and contemplation. Jewish scholars have examined the character of Esau, his relationship with Jacob, and the consequences of his actions. Drawing upon these insights, some find intriguing parallels between ancient Rome and modern-day America, highlighting certain practices and motivations that may attract divine judgment. By exploring these connections, we can gain a deeper understanding of the potential consequences of particular societal attitudes and actions. 1. Esau and Rome. Esau, as depicted in the scriptures, is often associated with Rome due to the period in which the Roman Empire exerted its influence. Just as Esau skirted the path of righteousness, Rome was perceived as a powerful and imperialistic force that embraced indulgence, corruption, and idol worship. This connection allows us to examine some of the enigmatic practices and motivations prevalent within the Roman Empire, which may shed light on similar patterns in contemporary America. 2. Rome and America. Drawing parallelism between Rome and America raises several thought-provoking questions about the values and practices of the latter. Just as Rome accumulated power through conquest and colonization, America's historical trajectory includes the displacement and subjugation of indigenous populations. Similar to the Roman Empire, America has at times been accused of prioritizing material wealth, consumerism, and the pursuit of personal gain over communal well-being.
All right. So, Ahijah, let's go to Wisdom of Solomon 14 and 16. And you can drop that for now. Right. So that's plenty of information for you to realize that America and Rome have similarities, and America follows after what Rome has done. Right.
The Book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 14 and verse 16. Thus, in the process of time, an ungodly custom grew strong, was kept as a law.
Read.
And graven images were worshipped by the commandments of kings.
Right. So in the process of time, now in America here, we're keeping these traditions, right? It says and graven images. So we're worshiping the graven images by the commandments of kings, right? The establishment of the rulers of these nations, right? So that's what's been going on, and with that, it creates a lot of nonsense and madness. Haji, can you get the next video ready for us? It's called the New Year Delusions. So we're gonna show you a video of the confusion.
If you want to live next year,
the confusion that that the New Year and celebrating Janus, the confusion that it brings to our people, and the madness and the traditions of the effect of those traditions. And we're going to show you in these videos right here.
What's going on here?
Got that, Ahish?
Yeah, I got it. It disappeared on me.
Gotcha.
if you want to live next year, don't forget not to do your laundry on December 31st and January 1st. Not let any of your loved ones do their laundry on December 31st or January 1st. This is what I will be doing on December 31st and January 1st. I'm keeping my family safe by doing this. For the last couple years, I've hopped on here and said, don't do your laundry on December 31st or January 1st. The first year I messed up and I warned everyone on December 31st, but then everyone was seeing it like in the new year and they were like, oh, cool, I already did laundry. So now I try to hop on here a little bit earlier than like December 31st to warn you all not to do your laundry on those days. There's a couple old wives' tale. One says that if you do your laundry on either December 31st or January 1st, whatever they are, to be safe, I don't do laundry on either day. But if you do your laundry on those days, then you're washing away all your good luck. And then there's another old wives' tale, which is the one that I grew up with, was don't do your laundry on December 31st or January 1st, because if you do, then you'll be doing laundry for the dead before the year's over. Anyways, don't do your laundry December 31st or January 1st if you're superstitious or a little stitious like me. If you want to...
Please, for the love of God, do the lentil ritual for this year. throw lentils over yourself, and while you are throwing them, please visualize what you want for this year, and it's gonna come true. You just have to do it with a lot of faith, and it worked for me. I don't know. Then you pick them up, you put them in a little bag, and then you keep them on your wallet for the whole year, and that way you remember what you are manifesting. And I don't know, it just happens. So like it is a blessing. Just do it, trust me, and then come back to this video and let me know what happened.
With New Year's being right around the corner, these are a list of things that you should definitely avoid unless you want to have a horrible year. Number one is starting off really strong. Do not start the new year with blood, meaning don't start the new year with any sort of cuts or open wounds. It is said to bring misfortune for the rest of the year. Number two, and trust me, I know this is going to sound really gross, but according to legend, you should not shower on New Year's Day because you're essentially washing away all of your good luck and bringing in illness with it. Number three, kind of going along with number two, is do not wash any clothes on New Year's Day. Like, don't do anything. Just sit around and lounge. That should be like your relaxing day. Don't clean anything in your house. Don't wash anything. Also, don't take any trash out. All of this stuff is said to bring really, really bad luck into your life. Number four, do not argue or get into a fight with anyone on New Year's Day. This is believed to set the tone for the rest of the year. If you start off the year on a bad foot, it's going to follow you and you're going to have nothing but conflict for the whole year of 2026. And number five, do not wear any black. I know black is a very classic color, especially for like New Year's Eve or New Year's Day. Stay away from black. Black is meant for grief. Instead, wear some happy, bright colors like red or yellow or even gold. This is believed to bring a bunch of abundance and happiness into your life. Let me know if you guys want a part two. With New Year's right around the corner.
If you leave and you have to use the bathroom or even get water,
you lose your spot.
That's the problem.
So what do you do with the bathroom?
What do you do? I'll show you exactly what you do. Okay? Hold on. Let me see. Let me try and find this here.
Okay, now I
see these pads?
Yeah.
You have to pee in these pads. Let me show you.
But you're a man. What do you do if you're a woman?
Everybody's equal. Nobody's any different.
Oh, you just put it in your underwear?
That's exactly what you do.
And then you switch and you have like a bag, like a...
It stays there. It stays there.
This will hold for the whole day?
You make it will stay for the whole day, yeah.
Oh, this is what you do?
I will be wearing
diaper.
See?
What?
I'm wearing diapers.
The diapers?
This is what...
This is not a diaper though. This will not
It works too. It works too.
It works?
You're a lady. You should know it
No,
works.
it's not working.
It works.
It's not. I wouldn't try it.
Well,
Man. So yeah, I just these are the things that this celebrating the Janus. This is what it's created. You got grown people defecating on themselves just to be able to stand there, and they don't realize that when they're waiting for that ball to drop, that is the new way of them sacrificing to their pagan goddess Janus, right? So they're waiting, willing to stay 24 hours, waiting to not do anything else and not have to go to the restroom. They wear diapers and all that just to watch that ball drop, which is not even in the new year, right? It's in the middle of winter. And then the other things that they do, throwing lentils, doing all this other stuff. Some of them I never heard of it before, but it sounds madness. And they do this because they do it for prosperity, right? Because they think the new year's coming up, and they want to have a prosperous new year. But if you're of the children of Israel and you want to have a prosperous life, I'll show you how.
Keep the commandments.
Keep the commandments. Go to Joshua 1:8. Go to Joshua 1:8.
That's heavy that you brought that point out too, because our people, they will do everything, all they can. They will hop on one foot. They'll sacrifice their kids. They'll work 3 jobs to try to get prosperity, but they won't do what God says. They'll eat certain foods or not eat certain foods or wash certain clothes or not for luck. When God said what? Let's go there. You said Joshua
1:8, please.
The book of Joshua, chapter 1, verse 8. This book of the law shall not depart out of thy mouth, but thou shalt meditate therein day and night, that thou mayest observe to do according to all that is written therein.
So now, if you meditate on the book of the law day and night, right? And it says, and you observe to do according to all that is written therein. And then what happens, Ahijah?
For then thou shalt make thy way prosperous.
For then, after you do that, your ways will become prosperous. Right? Finish it off.
And then thou shalt have good success.
Right. So it's as simple as that. Right? You don't gotta do any of those rituals. If you're the children of Israel, you need to keep the laws as the apple of your eye, and then you'll be prosperous and you'll have good success. Right? So
Hey,
that's
loved one. And if that worked, if it really worked, oh, you know what? I'm gonna eat some greens and I'm gonna be rich. I'm gonna eat some black eyed peas and I'm gonna have luck. I'm not gonna my wife was telling me like some of the traditions like in the South, they'll say the first person to come into your house must be a man if you're a single woman. Or little things like that because it's supposed to, like you said, it's an old folk tale where it's supposed to bring them luck. But God already told us how to get these things. You want to be prosperous, keep His commandments. You want a man, keep His commandments. You want to have good luck or good fortune, keep His commandments.
right.
It's that simple.
Right. Yeah, but our people, our people think they know better.
Everyone wants a shortcut. Everybody wants a shortcut.
All right. So Ahijah, can you bring out the next picture that you were gonna bring up right now about the four seasons, and then we can go to Genesis 1 and 4. Because now we're gonna start showing our brothers and sisters online who may not know that God had established days for us, and then months for us, right? For us to keep in their season. So this is the seasons. This is the 4 seasons that we see throughout the year, right? So spring is in March and April, right? In May, mainly That's when everything starts to blossom. A lot of the animals are having their babies, like,
Hibernations.
yeah, right. And then we go into summer, and then we go into fall, and then winter, and then back into spring. All right. So we see a cycle, right? So that's how we know we have a year, because it goes from spring, everything coming back to life, and then everything going back down, dying, and then guess what? It comes back again into spring. So that's how we can tell that we've gone through a whole year, right? So now, Ahijah, you can leave that up, and then do you have Genesis 1 and 14?
Yes, sir.
All right, read it when you got it,
The
please.
book of Genesis, chapter 1 and verse 14. And God said, let there be light in the firmament of heaven to divide the day from the night,
Mm-hmm.
and let them be for signs
For a
and for seasons
and for seasons, go ahead.
and for days and years.
Right, and for days and years. So that's how we're gonna be determining the days and years and seasons. So when we go through all the seasons, we know we've gone through the whole year, right? And then keep reading. 15.
And let them be for lights in the firmament of heaven to give light upon the earth. And it was so.
Right, and it happened. Go ahead.
And God made two great lights, the greater light to rule the day,
Which is the sun.
and the lesser light to rule the night.
Right, which is the moon. Right.
He made the stars also.
Yep. Okay. And then so we're getting understanding of the seasons and the days of the years, and from there, Ahijah, can you bring up the next page? It should be the calendar, the Bible Dictionary calendar, page 98. Yeah. So this is where we're getting this information from, right? Go to the next.
Calendar, days, the 7-day week.
You can start from the very top. Yeah.
Calendar. During the Bible period, time was reckoned solely on astrological observations. Days, months, and years were determined by the sun and moon.
Right. So that's what we just read, right? And then read Can you go to Genesis 1 and 3, and keep that up there, please?
The book of Genesis, chapter 1 and verse 3. And God said, "Let there be light," and there was light.
Hmm? Read.
And God saw the light, that it was good. And God divided the light from the darkness.
Right. Go ahead.
And God called the light day, and the darkness he called night.
Right. So that's how he divided when it was day, when the light was out, that was the day, during the day. And when it was dark out, that means it was called the night, right? Go ahead.
And the evening and the morning were the first day.
Right. In the evening, so at the evening and the morning were the very first day. So that's when he establishes the first day, right? And then can you read that on days?
Days of the week, days. One. Days of the week were not named by the Jews, but were designated by the ordinal number. The Jewish day began in the evening with the appearance of the first stars.
Right. When the sun starts going down and we can start seeing the first stars, right? Go ahead.
Days were subdivided into hours and watches.
Right. So Israel used to have the night was subdivided into three, right? So we have the first can you go to the next picture that I have up there for them? I don't know if I picture of day and night. Oh yeah, just keep it right there. So this was when the day started over here on the right where it says sunset, right? That's when one day ended and the other day began, right? And then we go all the way down to midnight and then all the way down to 6 a.m. Obviously times change because the sun will change in the sun rising and the sun setting, right? For now in winter, we have less sunlight, which it goes down around 5 to 5:30 at this time. Um, but when we were reading in the Bible Compact Dictionary, when I was talking about the calendar and we were dividing our nights, it had the first watch, meaning the children of Israel had watchmen keeping the camp safe from enemies and from wild beasts. When you read, go back to the calendar, Ahijah, please. So it says days were subdivided into hours and watches, right? So from the first watch was from sunset, as soon as the sun set, all the way to 10 p.m. And then the middle watch was from 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. The morning watch was from 2 a.m. to the sunrise. And we can there's scriptures that we can follow to find out about these watches. They don't really speak too much of it, but it does mention in the first watch. So in the first watch, you can go to Lamentations 2 and 19. We don't have to go there, Hijay. We just kind of want to put them out there. And then the middle watch, you can find that in Judges 7 and 19. And then the morning watch, you can go to Exodus 14 and 24 and First Samuel's 11 and 11. We want to kind of stay in topic, so we don't want to revert too much on it, but we want to people if they want to look it up later. From there, Ahijah, the 7 days I'll go back to the calendar.
The 7 day week is of Semitic origin. Egyptians had a week of 10 days. The Jewish week had its origins in the creation accounts and
Right,
ran consecutively, uh, irrespective irrespective of lunar or solar cycles.
right. So
This
Ahijah,
was go.
you can stop that right there. So yeah, the Egyptians, they had a 10 day week, right? And the God established the a whole week in Genesis 1 and in Genesis 2 and 1 and 3. So Ahijah, let's read that again for the people to see when God established the first day, and it will read to them when God established the seventh day. So which concludes a week, not 10 days. So go back to Genesis 1 and we can just read 5.
The book of Genesis, chapter 1, verse 5. And God called the light day, and the darkness he called night. And the evening and the morning were the first day.
All right. So again, God called it the first day. He didn't call it Sunday. All right. That came after to for the worship of the sun deity, the sun god, right? So Ahijah, go to Genesis 2 and 1.
The book of Genesis, chapter 2, verse 1.
Go ahead.
Thus the heavens and the earth were finished, and all the host of heaven, thus the heavens and the earth were finished, and all the hosts of them.
Read.
And on the seventh day, God ended his work which he had made. And he rested on the seventh day from all his work which he had made.
Go ahead.
And God blessed the seventh day and sanctified it, because that in it he had rested from all his work which God created and made.
Right. So God blessed the seventh day and sanctified it. Right. He sanctified it. He set it apart. This is where the first Sabbath had been established. Right. He sanctified it and he rested in it. From there, let's go to Exodus 20 and 8. Exodus 20 and 8. So we're seeing how God established the day, he established the week, and he established the year within the seasons. That's the reason we can't find more than 4 seasons in the year, right? So when spring comes up, that's the beginning of the year. We're gonna prove that with the scriptures. And when spring comes back around, that's the end of 1 year, right? Yeah, Exodus 20 and 8, please.
The book of Exodus, chapter 20 and verse 8. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. 6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy work.
Right. So you're telling, remember the Sabbath day, which is the seventh day, to keep it holy, keep it set apart. We read when the Most High established the seventh day, right, and sanctified it. So that's why he's telling us, remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. And then verse 9 says, 6 days shall thou labor. Go ahead.
And do all thy work. But the seventh day is the Sabbath of the Lord thy God. In it thou shalt not do any work.
All right.
Thou, nor thy son, nor thy daughter, thy manservant, nor thy maidservant, nor thy cattle, nor thy stranger that is within thy gates.
And this is we're gonna read why we have to obey all this. Go ahead, verse 11.
For in 6 days the Lord made heaven and earth, the sea, and all that all that in them is, and rested the seventh day. Wherefore the Lord blessed the Sabbath day and hallowed it.
And hallowed it, right? He set it apart, right, from the rest of the 6 days. He set apart the 7th day for us to remember what the Lord had done, right? And then from there, Ahijah, can you get the next picture, the picture of the days of the week? Because like I mentioned, the Most High didn't name the days. That was done by men and the Romans. Go ahead. Elijah, can you read it from the top?
The days of the week. Sunday, from Old English, Sanagdag, meaning sun's day,
Right.
named for the sun. Monday, from Old English, Monagdag. If I'm pronouncing it wrong, excuse me.
It's all
Words
right.
I ain't never seen before. Meaning Moon's Day, named for the moon. Tuesday, from Tao's Day. The Germanic god of war, equivalent to the Roman Mars. Wednesday, from Woden's day or Odin, the chief Germanic god paralleling the Roman Mercury, god of
Eloquence.
eloquence. Let me grab my charger real quick.
There.
Sorry about that.
Good, you're good. So we're seeing how none of these days were given by the Most High God. Again, man goes and tries to establish their own thing and influences the rest of the world by conquering them and by having this philosophies and just power to be able to change these things, right, and establish. And over the times of years, our forefathers are not here alive to tell us that these were all lies. So but now when we're doing our studying and our reading and seeking this information, now we can come out and share it with the people so that they can understand what's going on in the world and to return to the Most High. Go ahead, Ahijah.
Thursday, from Thor's day, a Norse god of thunder matching the Roman Jupiter.
All right, go ahead.
Or Jupiter, yeah, Jupiter. Friday, from Freya or Frigga day, Norse goddess of love, corresponding to the Roman Venus.
All right.
Saturday, a Roman legacy named for Saturn, the Roman god of agriculture. 1 second here. Let me move this so I can see. The Roman god of agriculture, as there wasn't a direct Norse equivalent.
Right. So there, we are able to see what man does, and we're able to see what God does. Right. God establishes days. Man, the man our enemies and these other nations go and they establish their own things to change them and to try and force that on everybody. Right. Because
I ask
now,
for permission.
yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh no, it's heavy the point you're bringing out because whether we want to agree with it or not, when we say the days of the week, when we say the days of the month, when we say the whatever it may be in reference to the Roman calendar, we're worshiping Roman deities. When we say, oh well, I don't celebrate New Year's because I want to celebrate Janus, the pagan god. Well, you doing it, whether you want to do it for that reason or not, you're paying homage to it. Just like when someone says, I'm an atheist, I don't believe in Christ, but then they turn around and say, well, it's 2025. Well, you referencing this is going back into the year of the Lord. So you don't believe in something, but without subsequently you're worshiping it without knowing. Same thing with the days of the week. Same thing with these worldly pagan festivals that we're doing. These are not our customs, but we follow it blindly. Don't follow the mass to the slaughter.
Right.
Know what you're doing. Know what you're saying. Know where it came from.
Right. And then Ahijah, another way that is just it's we can't run away from it or anything. It's established here already. If you go and get a job interview and you go and they tell you, oh yeah, we need you to come on January 15th of that what Tuesday or Thursday, you can't avoid it. You got what day that is.
Right. And you can't cause confusion to say, I'm going to see you on the 297th day of the week. They're
Right.
gonna be like, "What? I'm gonna see you on the fourth day." Wait, the fourth day, the 200. I don't know when that is. Nowadays, we have to say, "Hey, I'm gonna see you January 15th, Tuesday at 9 a.m." Because if I say I'm gonna see you at the first watch on the 27th hour of the 37th week, you're gonna be like, "Wait, I don't know when that is."
Right, right. So yeah, we can't do nothing about that. We're in their we're in their dominion, right? They run this world. They run this country, and this is how it's done. But we can change what we worship, right? We can't change that. We have the Most High made it to that where we have the ability to choose what we want to worship, right? So there's no excuses at the end of the day. Ahijah, Exodus 12 and 1. Exodus
The
12.
book of Exodus, chapter 12 and verse 1. And the Lord spake unto Moses and Aaron in the land of Egypt, saying, This month shall be unto you the beginning of months, and it shall be the first month of the year to you.
You see, so the Lord spake unto Moses and Aaron, where? In the land of Egypt, saying, This month shall be unto you the beginning of months. So he's telling you, this month you shall make the first month. This is going to be the first month. And it shall be the first month of the year, right? So now we're getting to know when God established the year, right? So now let's find out what month is talking about. But before that, let's go to Sirach 43 and 6. Sirach 43 and 6.
The book of Sirach, chapter 43 and verse 6. He made the moon also to serve in her season for a declaration of times.
Right. So that's why he's telling the month. The name month comes from moon, right? So he's telling he made the moon also to serve in her seasons, right? In her seasons for a declaration of time. So we're out to declare the times by the months. This is what God established, right? See, and it's pretty simple. Go ahead, Ahijah. And
And a sign of the world.
right, you're gonna read 7 as well.
From the moon is the sign of feasts, a light that decreaseth in her perfection.
All right. So when the moon is full and it starts to decrease in its perfection, meaning when is the new moon, the new month, right? So and we read in Exodus 12 and 1 and all the way to 2 how he gave us this month for the beginning of the year. So we got to find out what month it's speaking about, right? And so we got to go to Leviticus. Yeah, let's go to Leviticus 23. Let's go to Leviticus 23 and 4.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 23 and verse 4. These are the feasts of the Lord, even holy convocations, which ye shall proclaim in their seasons. In the 14th day of the first month, at even, is the Lord's Passover.
Yeah, it's sorry, just verse 4. Just read
Verse
it.
4. And these are the feasts of the Lord, even holy convocations, which ye shall proclaim in their seasons.
Right. So we read in Sirach 43 and 6 that the moon also served for her seasons for a declaration of time, right? And verse 7 it says from the moon, from the moon is a sign of the feast. In Leviticus 23, we're reading, these are the feasts of the Lord, holy convocations, which ye shall proclaim in their feast. Ahijah, let's go back to Exodus 12 and 1, please. One more time. We're almost done.
The book of Exodus, chapter 12 and verse 1. And the Lord spake unto Moses and Aaron in the land of Egypt, saying, This month shall be unto you the beginning of months, and it shall be the first month of the year to you.
Yeah, okay. And then from there, go to the next chapter, 13, Exodus 13 and 3.
The book of Exodus, chapter 13 and verse 3. And Moses said unto the people, Remember this day in which ye came out from Egypt, out of the house of bondage. For by strength of hand the Lord brought you out from this place. There shall no leavened bread be eaten.
Go ahead.
This day came out in the month Abib.
Right. So on this day, ye came out in the month of Abib, right? So that is the first month, right? Because when we read in Exodus 12 and 1, it says, and the Lord spake unto Moses and Aaron in the land of Egypt. So they were in the land of Egypt, and then he tells them this month is going to be the beginning of the months for you. It shall be the first month of the year to you, to the children of Israel. And chapter 13 is saying, and Moses said unto the people, remember this day in which ye came out from Egypt, out of the house of bondage, for by strength of the hand the Lord brought you out from this place. There shall no leavened bread be eaten. This day came ye out in the month of Abib. So we're establishing the first month of the year, right? So Ahijah, let's go to Deuteronomy 16 and 1. Deuteronomy 16 and verse 1. You can drop that
Yes,
that
sir.
picture that we have, or that image of the, yeah, thank you. And then you can bring up Ahijah, you can pull up actually the other image I have for Abib in the Bible dictionary, page 13. Because we just found out that the first month of the year is called Abib.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter verse 1. Observe the month of Abib, and keep the Passover unto the Lord thy God. For in the month of Abib, the Lord thy God brought thee forth out of Egypt by night.
Right. So observe the month. It says, remember the month of Abib, right? And keep the Passover unto the Lord thy God. For in the month of Abib, the Lord thy God brought thee out of Egypt by night. So go ahead and read that on the top on that Bible dictionary for Abib.
Abib, Abib, an ear of corn, a pre-elixir, a pre-exile name for the month of the year. Exodus 13:4, 23:15, 34:18. After the exile, the name was changed to Nisan.
Right.
It fell about the time of our March and early April.
Right. So this month fell upon March, late March, and early April around that time, right? Because again, we're going off the seasons and the moon, and then so it says that it was the God called it was called the babe, and then it changed after the Babylonian exile. It started being called Nisan, right? And go to the next picture or image of a babe. There you go. And read the top.
Yes, Abib or Aviv is Hebrew for spring, referring to the seasons of young green ears of grain, especially barley.
Go ahead.
Are marked and marks the first month of the biblical calendar, coinciding with late March, early April, and is crucial for Passover. It signifies rebirth and renewal, aligning with the barley harvest beginning, and was later renamed Nisan after the Babylonian exile, but the association with spring and Passover remains.
Right. So so when we go to Leviticus 23, Ahijah,
Yes, sir.
keep that up for now. Leviticus 23.
You want 15?
No, I just wanted right after 4.
Okay. Leviticus chapter 23 and verse 5.
Yes.
In the 14th day of the first month at even is the Lord's Passover.
Right. So it says on the 14th day of the first month. So we've just found out that the first month is the month of Abib, right? So around that time when the moon, when we have the full moon there, it is going to be the new moon, which we celebrate. We keep in its appointed day, and then we count these the 14 days, right? That's why verse 5. So it's Leviticus 23 is going to tell you how to keep these feast days. right? And then you have to count by the moon. These are the feasts. Verse 5. In the 14th day of the first month at even is the Lord's Passover. When the sun starts to set, it begins the Lord's Passover. And then verse 6, Ahijah.
And on the 15th day of the same month is the feast of unleavened bread unto the Lord. 7 days ye must eat unleavened bread.
Go ahead.
In the first day ye shall have an holy convocation. Ye shall do no servile work therein.
Right. So now we're able to see how to count these days to start celebrating these high holy days that the Lord established for the children of Israel, right? So we don't have to be celebrating these other pagan customs, right, that belong to the other nations. So from there, Ahijah,
Permission to speak?
go ahead.
Just to let brothers and sisters know, it's important that we realize every time it's referencing a feast day, it's stating, read verse 5 again.
Leviticus 23 and verse 5. In the 14th day of the first month, at even, is the Lord.
So when we start counting, when we said on the 14th day of that first month at even, when do you think we started? On the new moon at even. And we counted to the 14th day at even. Okay, now it's the Passover. The 15th day at even at the nighttime, that's why it's always at even. That's when we start counting. So we know, okay, this is when it starts. So we're not celebrating it incorrectly.
Right, Ahijah. Good point. Yes, sir. Ahijah, can you bring out the next image of Nissan? Because we read how after the Babylonian, it started being called Nissan, and there's a few scriptures there that it shows that example of when they were when is being used as Nissan, but it's actually the month of Abib, which is the first month. Read that from the top.
Nisan, in the King James Version, KJV, is the first month of the Jewish sacred year and seventh of the civil year, corresponding to March, April. Originally called Abib, it was renamed Nisan after the Babylonian captivity. It is mentioned in Nehemiah 2 and 1 and Esther 3 and 7, marking the season of Passover.
All right. So let's get that. Let's get it. Esther 3 and 7.
The book of Esther, chapter 3 and verse 7. In the first month, this is the month of Nisan, in the 12th year of the king of Artaxerxes, they cast pur. That is the lot before Haman from day to day and from month to month to the 12th month, that is the month Adar.
Right, to the 12th month, which is Adar. Right. So there's another month in the scriptures, which is the 12th month Adar. Um, so from there, Ahijah, let's go to Psalms 81 and 34.
And that also lets you know all the confusion that the Romans tried to implement, because the Bible tells you there's 12 months.
Right.
But then they're going to go back and say, no, there's 10. No, there's 8. No, there's 12. No, it's this. The answer's been there the whole time.
Right, Levin. And then that's why we wanted to show, that we wanted to show that it's obvious they can't lie about this, because we know that there's 4 seasons, right, throughout the year.
Absolutely.
So if the Bible says that in spring, which is late March and early April, around that time establishes the beginning of the year, and then the year goes around, and then they're telling you is in the middle of winter. Winter just started not too long ago, right? So now they're telling you that the new year starts in the middle of winter, where everything's dead, nothing's being revived. It doesn't add up. It doesn't make sense, right? But now we're in Esther 3 and 7, which it shows the first month, and then it tells you the 12th month of Adar, right? And so it's just showing you the confusion that the other nations by power and by rulership have carried on even till today. And like we saw earlier in the video, that America and Rome are they're the same thing. They're the same thing, right? Nothing changes. It's nothing new under the sun. But this is my last scripture. Hi, John, unless you got something else to bring up.
No, sir. No, sir.
Psalms 81 and 34. I mean, sorry, 81 and 3. We're going to read 3 and 4.
1 second here. The book of Psalms, chapter 81 and verse 3. Blow up the trumpet in the new moon, and in the time appointed, on our solemn feast days.
All right. Read.
For this was a statute for Israel, and a law of God of Jacob.
Right. And a law of God, of the God of Jacob, right? So this is when we're supposed to be celebrating, right? And it says blow up the trumpet in the new moon, in the appointed in the time appointed, right? Like in go to Leviticus 23, and brothers and sisters can read those days that have been appointed for us to celebrate throughout the year, right? And it says, for this was a statute, so this was ought to be kept by Israel, and it was a law of the God of Jacob, right? So this is what we're out to celebrate. We're supposed to stay away from these other pagan traditions and celebrations, and we ought to come back and keep our high holy days. And we got our new moon coming up, the third, right? It's on the third at sundown.
Sundown tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night, correct? Yes. So today we're celebrating the Sabbath. Tomorrow we blow up the trumpets and we celebrate the new moon, and then we count from there on to the next feast day. But with that, I hope somebody out there who didn't have this information can take heed, and if you have any questions, reach out to us, and come back to the laws of the Most High. But with that, I'm gonna say Shalom, happy Sabbath.
Hey, Shalom, Israel, happy Sabbath. Like we always say, stay humble, stay diligent, but most of all, stay in the spirit.
Shalom,
Shalom, Israel.
Shalom.